All right, folks, welcome on back here this Wednesday afternoon, June 16th, shortly after 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Welcome on back here for our afternoon meeting. I believe we are good to go live inside the trading room. We did the sound check just before. Great to see Leda, Patrick, Lynette, who picked up 43 cents just now on this ORPH trade. Great to see everybody else, though, joining us on social media, Facebook Live and YouTube. So we got to get into it pretty quick here, folks. We have a lot to discuss, really, but we have class ahead lined up at 3 p.m. Eastern Time for all of our Phase 1 students inside our trading room, finishing things up with the course today and for the week. We'll be talking all about journaling your trades. So not as much to do with the charts like we've been focused on across the majority of Phase 1 this month and this week, but we're going to be talking about journaling your trades, something that might be a bit tedious to do in the moment, but it is the most important part in terms of just getting more confident and getting better as a trader ultimately. I had a comment from one of our students, I think it was earlier inside the trading room, just saying, they just don't really feel confident moving off just the couple hundred shares that they're trading, like the 100 or 200 shares. I don't know if that student's journaling, and if they are they studying from it? That's what we're going to talk about in class later on today. For right now, though, as I had said before, Lynette picked up just about 43 cents on the ORPH. And at the time I told her, and thankfully it's playing out the way I thought it would here, but, there is a chance it could pop up. It could still pop up later. It's to say that, hey, this stock, history has repeated itself on more than one occasion. You could see the big pop back from Thursday of last week. Stock went from $5 to $75, got halted probably like 15 times on the way up that day, and then it got halted once on the way down, and that was it. That was a wrap. Well, look what happened here today. Good old ORPH ended up making a pop. I mean, it was earlier after the market opened, but ended up making this bigger pop right off at 12, got halted, I think, once on the way up or twice on the way up. Well, this time it got halted on the way down, and I thought it was going to dump off more after from that point. This thing picked right back up. A second life left on this trade, at least up until like 1:30 Eastern. Ended up topping off underneath 24, came right back down. So now at this point, the ORPH trade, hey, if it was going to move back up, you have the chance to get back in. So, that's where I told Lynette, and just if anything, I'll say good entry, good trade at times. Specifically, I told her, I said, that was a good exit. You can get right back in on the trade later on, right? So just take the money and run. For right now, this thing is like a jumping off a cliff here, so to say. So I don't know how likely it is we'll see that squeeze up right now. So we'll keep it off our main list. For all of us on social media, we have a couple of us here today joining us. So, I know that you folks, or I feel that you folks know at this point, we have the Fed meeting that finished up here, the FOMC meeting. So the big takeaways, they left the rates unchanged for right now. And then the other headline I had here, I mean, practically, you could see on the 5-minute chart, the S&P ETF, the SPY moving lower. The Federal Reserve held rates constant, but raised its inflation expectations for 2021 to 2023. 7 Fed officials expect the rate increases in 2022, while 13 expect rate increases the following year. So, those are the big takeaways from our big meeting today. And, I was saying this from yesterday. We had a lot of hesitation going into the meeting. Markets were dropping off, but it was very slow and stagnant. And then afterwards, we saw the instant drop off. But, we'll see what comes at the final hour and a half here of our day. Anytime the Fed meeting is over with, it's not to assume major, volatility, major action, and a huge trend up or down. Oftentimes you'll just kind of see this like range being built, and it will trade within that across the rest of the day. So what we'll do is go from top to bottom. If we see the SPY continue to, inch back up more or drop back down, we'll comment on it, maybe go to some stocks that are moving with it. I'm just going to skip over number 2 already here. That's a buyout. I know that off the top of my head. So just going to move on from that. APRE. Now, this was a stock that I was really interested in going into the market open. We had it on our morning watch list as well. Fausto put it on there, and for all the right reasons, right? I mean, the stock was up big off of news, and huge gap to fill on the daily chart. I was a little afraid of this happening here, but the thing is, with a stock like APRE, which doesn't really happen too often, this stock is shortable. So for as much as we are hoping for a move up, what happens when this stock begins to continue to test support? What happens when we continue to see more selling? So it took a while for that real big drop-off to occur. But once it broke back below $7, which was a big iceberg level after the market opened up, right here, smooth drop off after. So, right now it's flat. I'm not really going to put this on our main list going into the close, although it is shortable. It can continue to drop even to 550. I don't know. I'll check back in with it tomorrow. Good side list stock, I think. I'll certainly check back in with it early tomorrow morning. Once I launch my platform at 8 o'clock Eastern time in the morning, I'll look this up. But I don't think it's going to make as big of a move here, with as much time as we have left. All right, I got a scratchy throat here, and I apologize for that for all of us on social media. A lot of talking today. TRCH, another big move from pre-market. We ended up following this right away out the gate after the market opened up. Broke over major resistance at 6 at the time, ended up flying up pretty nicely from there. But for as much as this stock moved over the last few days, let alone yesterday, stock was like $2.70, back on Monday of this week. So to see this move all the way up towards near 675-ish or so, you could say that at any price level, the more and more it goes up, but it's to say what happens when the volume dies off? What happens if this is a false breakout over the 670, which it was? So you could see the big spike of volume, the big buying here, but obviously after it came back below the level, the volume died off after, and we always say, so does the stock. So, TRCH tanked, and now right now, this stock is making a hell of a squeeze up towards 6, 86,000 or 89,000. My dyslexia kicking in there. 89,000 share order on the ask at $6 right now, getting tested, likely to get filled. We'll see if it makes the pop and drop at first. It wouldn't shock me if this is a false breakout here coming up. So I'll put this on our list. I'm pretty convinced of this making a pretty decent move heading into the close. That's not to guarantee up, but just given this volatility here, this trend moving into this afternoon, let's see if this can make another crack over 6 coming up pretty shortly. Again, I assume this is going to be a false breakout, but let's see if this can kind of hold its own, re-break over 6. Maybe we'll get one more run. My lovely AVXL. It's up again today. Chart's really ugly. Not really too interested in it. This ALT is a vaccine stock, I believe, back from last year, a year and a half ago at this point, but ended up making a big push back in 2020. Popped from like $5 or $8 here all the way up towards 35. Those types of moves you remember. So like going back to ORPH. That crazy one back from the end of last week. I was actually, out at that time. I was on vacation. I'll tell you, I'm going to remember that stock the next time I see it on the gainers list. Same to be said with ALT. So when I saw this move up after the market opened up, it was on my Benzinga Pro. We jumped to it pretty fast. I know that Rich Liz in the chat board commented on it. I know a couple of us, traded it on the way up here. I'm actually realizing right now stock is shortable. So this actually could have been as good, if not better, of a short as it was a long, believe it or not. So that's pretty interesting. But yeah, I mean, up and down, this thing's been through the spin cycle today. So it's kind of in the same line of thinking as the APRE. It's trading a lot of volume compared to what it does day to day, and compared to its float, I'm sure pretty low float, I'd imagine the stock to be. I don't know. I'm not really too jumpy to put this on our list here still. All right, keep it going. Let's see. What else we got? MAXR. I know it's been spotty today. See what SPI is up to. Why do I say that? Well, I tell you folks, whenever I'm in a position, and I called the stock out live inside Cyber Group, it was about right around 2 o'clock Eastern. It was beginning to test 7. It broke over 7 there. I'm in from 7. So I ended up jumping in right here a bit afterwards when it re-broke over 7. I'm in on 1,000 shares. Doing all right, I guess. It's, kind of trying to squeeze up here towards 718. I don't know what's going on with my matrix. This looks a bit off. So I'll tell you what, I might be jumping out actually really soon just to lock up some quick money. Once I got in this trade, I wasn't really too certain of where the top would be out. 750 would be a beautiful home run. 720 though here, 720 to 730. You have a lot of volume traded off those price levels from earlier. So it wouldn't shock me to see that hold as resistance. So I don't know. I mean, I just saw it on the gainers list here. I'm not really too jumpy to put it on our watch list for the close. The stock was tanking all morning into the open. After the open, it tanked. So I caught it off a good level. But, I just wanted to check back in with this for Norman and Michael and Bonnie, our students inside Cyber Group. I called this out to you folks. I hope you're able to get in. Ended up making the push, and we'll see if this gives us a bit more. But let's see if there's better opportunities than this even at this point. You don't want to chase this stock, that's for sure. Here we go. Eyes. I saw it from RJF on YouTube. He was asking about this. Eyes, maybe. And I just saw it pop up on my Benzinga Pro at the same time. So Yeah, pushing up. Looks like some volume kicked in when it broke over 7. So I would assume 7 to be a big support level, at least on the pullback. We're familiar with the stock too, so it's hard for me to like not put this on our main list. We only have like Torch on our main list so far. I just wrote Kodak down actually instead of eyes. That's too funny. I wanted to check in with this Kodak stock I typed in here just to see. The stock ended up making a nice like slow move from earlier. It popped up also on my Benzinga radar, but not doing as good here now. All right, we'll hop over to the losers list. Market's down anyway. Would have found perhaps more on the losers side. We'll see if they're easy to borrow. But yeah, TAL, this thing's been a dart on the way down all day today, and really like all year. Seeing the stock open the year around like 70, 80 bucks, popped up, but all the way down here. So, of course, breaking new lows of the day, new 52-week lows. I don't think it's all-time lows. We could find that out. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is all-time lows. I don't think so. I thought I had this set. Let's see. Nope, not all-time lows. Nowhere close. Nowhere close to all-time lows, unfortunately. But nonetheless, though, 52-week lows, at low of the day here. It's a nice trend on the way down. The issue that I actually have on this stock, and you wouldn't see it from this point, but the many times I've been following this trade over the last month and a half, as we've been calling it out, the order book, the level 4, as we nickname it, it looked very like glitchy, like algo type trading. So given this downtrend, I really like this stock so far. Has great liquidity, tight spread. That part of the order book I like. So for right now, we'll see what this does. If it maintains direction on the way down at 23, I'd assume for that to be the next big support, perhaps. Oh my God, UXIN. I cannot believe this still from yesterday. Not necessarily the fact that it dropped and it was shortable. That was easy to anticipate. The fact that the stock opened up at like 580 or $6, dropped all the way down, almost towards 4, made like a near 2-point drop yesterday. And then here we are now, the part that I really can't believe it. The fact that it's breaking lower even right now going into the afternoon. So just given the range the last 2 days, I like this stock and more on the way down as of now still. But if it ends up beginning to squeeze back up, watch for a potential level, from the daily chart, maybe a 350-ish, maybe this doji top here right off of 368. For anyone that was in the phase 1 course earlier this morning, phase 1 lesson 3, I know a couple single candle patterns out there. I didn't go over that with you folks in the class, but here we are at doji, maybe the top here right off 368. Perhaps that could be a support coming up here. You know what? I don't mind putting this on our main list, though. Just more of a level 1 stock, level 1 to 2. All right, let's see what else we got. I know dojis, I know hammer eyes, hammers, all of that, but let's see what else we got. Roadblocks on the way down. Probably not much volume on the book. Yeah. All right, I'll tell you, folks, that's all I got across the gainers and losers list here. I'm still checking Benzinga Pro. With the market down, you got all the inverse ETFs up. I'm not really too jumpy to put those on our list. It's closing out on SPI as we speak. I just got out right at 710. Take 10 cents, whatever. All right, so folks, let me know if there's anything else that you would want me to look at, up, down, left, right, more than 5% here, anything that I may have missed. Coming off Fed day here, I wouldn't expect for there to be a whole lot that I missed, but let me know. Feel very proud of myself finishing this meeting up roughly within 15 minutes. We've got 4 stocks on our watch list so far, folks. I mean, hey, it's kind of expected from my part going into this meeting. So we don't need to put stocks on our watch list. We don't need to force any stocks, at least from this point forward, on our list. Jeff says he's short on the stock Run, RUN. That is one that we've traded in the past, at least. Nice move down. Doing pretty well, I'd imagine. Nice drop so far. A little bit more pricey, but decent move. It seems like a good tradable stock. If you did well on this trade from the morning, I'm not talking to Jeff. Jeff's already short, but for everybody else, if you watched it from earlier, if you thought it was a decent trade, if you find this to be a decent trade right now, I'm not going to put it on our main list, but I'll tell you, it's still a tradable stock. Again, I could say that probably for a lot of stocks otherwise. Neo dropping back down. This could go with the market into the close. So NCLH called out. A little ugly, but AAL, same thing. There's going to be opportunities otherwise that I might not put on the main list. So, if you're already making money on a stock and you're going to continue to trade it, go right on ahead. Or if you ended up making money earlier on a trade, or if you consistently make money on a stock, and if it looks good in your opinion, then hey, give it a shot. But otherwise, I'll tell you, between Torch, Eyes, TAL, and the UXIN trades, I think that we're all set for right now. So unless if there's anything that makes a big pop or drop that Rich will call out, I would start with this list here. All right, folks, for all of us in social media, I'll sign off as always. Right at the buzzer, got our good old friend Mitch Connor on YouTube here asking about, not Riot, RKT, I'm sorry. Ooh, at the buzzer, Mitch, you sunk it, swish. Yeah, this definitely goes on our list. It's not down that 5%, right? So, we didn't find this down enough on the losers end for us to add, but dropping off beautifully, new lows, shortable, definitely good call. There we go. That's why we like to work together as a team here, folks. All right. So, to sign off, as always, for all of us on social media, make sure to like, subscribe, notify right on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/cybertradingu. Otherwise, feel free to join us every Monday to Friday live inside our Cyber Group trading room. Just go right down to the link on the banner below to get started for all of us there. I appreciate you sticking with me for right now. Sharon, Michael, Jeff, Norman. I'm going to post and tweet the picks right now, and then I'm going to jump in the class right away. So I'm going to get my prep in, my extra, final prep work done going into the class, and I'll talk to you all then. All right, take care.